got something to rant about.
Hello.
Hey, you guys. I did a little thing like, you know what they do in bloody Goonies? Where he's like, hey, you guys.
No, I haven't watched Goonies for years, but
Oh, bloody good film.
I enjoyed it.
Do you know what my favourite part of that film was? Was when the Chinese kid like did the like hand like rappel thing across from like the treehouse. I always used to want to make one of them, but I was never smart enough to do that.
I still can't remember Goonies, but I mean, I like the fact you
The
like
kid
it.
from the Okie Dokie Dr. Jones in Indiana Jones. That's the same kid.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
He's a
short round.
Short round. Don't know if that's racist now.
I mean,
Oh, he's just short and round, so I suppose it's not.
he's not round at all. But
Why is he called round then?
Huh?
Why isn't he just called Shorty?
Because imagine like a 40-year-old man calling a kid shorty. Do you know what I mean? Like a 13-year-old kid shorty.
He's surely not 13.
Oh, he's probably like 8 in that film. It's even worse.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, getting on from Indiana Jones being a dodgy bloke. How are you?
I'm good. I've been away for a few weeks because I went to Prague, also known as Prague.
That's why there hasn't been an episode.
Yeah. I went on a bit of a lads' holiday. lads, sinking pints and fucking smashing bikes. Yeah, we were just it was a good holiday, to be honest. Shout out to all the guys that I went on holiday with. They were really nice, really cool, very welcoming. I didn't really know, I never met them before, and it was just nice to make new friends, I guess. I have a cold now though because of it, because it was like -1 degrees over there. So if I cough a lot in this,
I'll have to
I
believe
contracted the coronavirus.
You haven't, I hope, or we're all fucked. You've ruined
You
half of
already
Leeds.
Got it. So
Just true.
yeah.
Maybe I have. Maybe that's what this is.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think it's just AIDS.
Well, there you go. It's been 2 minutes and an AIDS joke's been made.
You already you moaned at me last time, so I'm just gonna. I've skipped over my bit pretty rapidly because mine's not as important as yours. But how are you, Callum? Are you okay? You know, it seems this podcast is all about you.
Apparently you're not okay. Apparently you've got a great. Apparently you've got a. You've got a real stick up your ass today.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I do. Okay,
You can barely sit down.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong?
Huh? Nothing. I was just joking around. I don't really care. You know.
Honestly, you are pissing me off today.
Okay, fine.
Nathan,
Okay,
Mr. I'm too important for podcasts. I'll just go on holiday. We've got to do this weekly, yeah?
Okay, fine.
And you decide to just go on holiday.
Sabbatical.
You can't take a sabbatical.
Yes, I can.
You're fired.
I can take. Yes, you can take a sabbatical. You can take a sabbatical. Anyone can take a sabbatical.
Not from a podcast, not from a weekly podcast. You can't take a sabbatical. Well, it's meant to be weekly.
Yeah, okay, it's bi-weekly.
No.
It likes both weeks and months. So
Are you over your little fit? Oh God.
Yeah.
Are you over? Oh, I keep picking it up on the mic.
So I can't laugh because I always start coughing. There you go. Carry on.
Are you over your little fucking hissy fit?
Yeah, carry on then. I thought that was a really funny bye joke for everybody.
It was.
It was a good bye
Very
joke.
funny. No, I'm okay. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say. I'm quite tired, as per usual. I'm still fucking working all the time, or it feels like I am, which is fucking nice. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, I have got a release date for the new track though. That's exciting. So 21st of February. If anyone's listening to this, I'm going to put the pre-link save code into the information bit of this episode. So we can, if you want to pre-save my next song, that'd be greatly appreciated. It means that on the day of its release, you'll get like a little notification pop up. You can listen to it straight away. It'll be like in your library as well. So if you're just on shuffle, it might come up. Maybe a pleasant surprise. There's a week after Valentine's Day, which is to some people is a good day. To some people it's a bad day.
I've got to tell you when we were downstairs actually. Someone texted me from work and they said, your housemate's track just came up on like a playlist that they were listening to on Spotify, and it came up, and they were like, I really liked it, and I was like, cool.
That is very weird. What a small world we live in.
I know. It's because I talk about you a lot. So. I know. I know.
I did go a bit stir crazy. I hadn't seen you for 2 weeks, and I was just like,
yeah.
I've made a pillow with your face on it, and I hugged it at night, and
yeah. Like Chris Griffin has that like
that weird mop doll. The weird mop doll, his girlfriend,
and like a mop and shit. Yeah. That's a watermelon, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they find it like who buries it.
Kills it.
Yeah,
Lois
stabs it and buries it in the forest.
Well, because she's a jealous mother.
Yeah. Well, plenty. Well, I don't think my mother's jealous. Is your mother jealous?
No, I hope not. I hope she doesn't kill one of my girlfriends.
Or has she done already?
I haven't seen a few of them for a very long time, so maybe.
It's possible, very possible. Come to think of it, my mum could have done the same thing. If you're one of our ex-girlfriends and you're alive, please contact us.
Do you know what I mean?
Please contact me. Just
even if it's for a booty call, you know what I mean?
Please, I'm just so lonely.
Yeah. This is the saddest podcast that we've done. We just literally shouted out to our ex-girlfriends to call us because we're lonely, man.
We did play a game the other week though called Roast My Ex. Me and Nathan did. Do you remember before we went away? And we both had. We can't do that, and we can't obviously say what we said. But it's always funny to hear your mates' thoughts about your ex-girlfriend after you've broken up. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not going to comment on it because there
wasn't a lot to roast about.
Girlfriends, I respect them, but
it was funny.
It was fucking jokes. But it is weird, you know what I mean? I'm just saying I stick out for women, you know what I mean? I stick up for women. I'm pro.
You can't smack your hand when you say that. It sounds a bit
like after a pint of Stella.
Too soon, mate.
Oh yeah.
But. Yeah, I don't know. As long as you're all good, I'm gonna crack off straight away with what's annoyed me, and it was just something today, and it's parents who can't keep control of their children. Let me tell you, okay? Let me bloody tell you. I was in Aldi, minding my own business. I was crouched down trying to find a tin of chopped tomatoes. Then what should happen? A child, basically. If you think of like a rocket hitting into a building, that's exactly what it was like. This child rammed the trolley into me, with no thought about his actions at all. And I turn around and I'm wearing a cap, so you can see my eyes in the dim lights of Aldi, just like staring up at this child.
Yeah, like this.
Sorry.
You know when like in movies when like Tommy Shelby style when he's wearing I think caps look really good on TV. Like hats, I like them.
Nathan's statement of the week is that he likes hats. Nathan does. It's rare to see him without a hat.
Oh my god.
So anyway, I just sort of basically gave the evils to this kid, and I had my headphones on, so I couldn't really hear what was going on. I took them off, and his parents were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. Oh, watch out." I'm like,
no, don't be sorry.
Why are you letting your kid push around the fucking trolley?
Yeah.
Put them in the trolley.
Okay, age limits on trolleys. Age limits to push trolleys. They should get at least a license.
I mean? If you can't handle a trolley in a supermarket, stay out.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
no, seriously, like they're easy to push around. Like, okay, sometimes you know when you get the ones with like a bit of like a Nestle water bottle sticker caught in the wheel
arch,
and then it kind of drags around. And you're like, you can't turn it properly, and you're like, fuck you, Sainsbury's. Fuck you.
Okay.
Sorry, I get really annoyed.
Yeah, clearly. But yeah, I just thought I've seen it a lot recently. Some of the places I've like been out, they've parents just who can't control the child. It's just fucking annoying. So I just tell it to shut up. I remember as a child, like, just I was a pretty well-behaved kid. I never had any of these. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have the guts to just pick up a trolley and ram somebody. You know, I'm not saying this kid did it deliberately, but it didn't apologise to me. So I should have just thrown it straight into the freezer aisle from where I was. That'll teach you a fucking lesson.
Yeah,
or locked it in like a freezer cabinet.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't lock it. I mean, like, give it a chance.
Fine. Keep it
Like, at least
open.
let it be like a bush
But put it in there with
child,
the
you know what I
frozen
mean?
peas. Just be like,
I think kids that,
chill out.
kids that like I'm okay with like kids in the daytime like running around a pub. Like that's
no out.
like,
Kids shouldn't be allowed in any form of pub.
on like the summer holidays or something, like if they're in a pub, that's fine during the day. And when I say the daytime, I mean till about 3, half 3, when you know the cool kids come. Do you know what I mean? Where they're like the old boys. Do you know what I mean? Like me or you or something like that. Like we're like, yeah, I'm an old boy. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna come and drink. But then it gets annoying when you're like 6 pints deep and you gotta just watch out because in case you just absolutely pelt a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like because like they'll be like running around and be like, woo, and then I'll be like, oh fucking Tottenham just scored, and then I'd like kick a chair and then just smack into a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you.
I'm not about that. And kids that use Heelys, I don't like that.
Oh, no, you know what's worse? Parents who buy kids Heelys. What are you doing?
Jealous. I was always jealous though that
Yeah,
I
you're
never
jealous,
got.
but aren't you also not jealous of the ones who got like a broken ankle?
No. What I'm saying is I was always jealous that I never got a pair of Heelys, but now I understand why.
Yeah, because they're
you know what
fucking
I mean?
death traps.
Yeah, I know.
Have you
Like,
seen them like scooting out on the road on them? I'm like, that's just dangerous.
yeah,
man.
and then like if you go down a hill too quick, and I'm not gonna lie to you, safety never takes a holiday, right? Because you should always wear a helmet when you're doing those things. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
arm pads.
arm
knee
pads. Yeah, like if my kid ever got a pair of Heelys, which if he did, the mum bought it. That's what I'm saying. Is I wouldn't condone that. But like,
You've got morals, yeah.
yeah, I've got morals. And to be fair, the shoes are too bulky. They look stupid. I like a nice, like slimmer shoe. Do you know what I mean? Like a pair of Vans.
Or like a pair of those like office shoes with a like so you can whisk around the office
like
really quickly.
like penguin shoes.
Yeah, like you've got like a few like leaflets to drop off. So with one swoop, you can just sort of like, you know, just throw them around the office, and then you've just kept gliding, and then you go out the glass window at the end, like,
and then you plummet to your death.
And then
Wow. Well,
how high up do you work?
I work on the ground floor of like.
What? You work on the
I
ground
work
floor?
on the ground floor.
Oh, that sucks.
No, it's fine. Like I think there's like I don't actually know. I don't specifically count how many windows there is in that building, but it's quite funny. There's like I think it goes up 4 floors. I think it's not a massive office, but I work on the ground floor, and it's like literally, it's like 13 seconds between my desk and the front door. Like it's so close, and I'm like, sweet, but what was I going to say? But yeah, I was going to say about the Heelys thing, and the office thing, about scooting around an office. Do you remember those hoverboards, that like stage of hoverboards? Like the 2014 era, where those hoverboards that all caught fire and shit. But like people would like,
I saw
like go down the street in them and things like that, and you just look like a bellend.
This is also a tale from Aldi. I was in there I think it was when you were away. And someone had one of those hoverboards in their feet, and they were just going around pushing the trolley without even taking any steps. And I was like, they're kind of ahead of the game.
Nah.
But then they couldn't reach a high up shelf because they'd topple and fall. So they were very much like grab.
But at the same time, you're in a confined space. It's rather dangerous, really. Like if you really.
And as you just said, health and safety never takes a
holiday.
I was going to say a day off, but
no, it never takes a holiday.
So it does take a day off.
I mean, give it some time. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't work a guy.
The boys have got to have one dangerous day a week.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, at least loo days. What are they called? Loo time? I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't understand adulthood. Okay.
Loo time? Do you mean going to the toilet?
No, when you have like days that you've accumulated or something like that, and it's called loo time.
Leave.
Oh.
What the fuck? You've accumulated some leave. You've got to take leave. No, you got to take loo.
Well, I don't know. I know there's something called loo. I know that for a fact.
No, email in if you know what loo means.
Yeah,
we're getting so desperate for emails now. Email us if you listen.
Email us if you've got a right hand.
Email.
I mean,
oh, you disabled hating pig. Oh, he started choking again.
I didn't mean that. I just meant as in. I didn't think. Okay, I was.
You are an enemy of the people. Is there anything you want to rant about other than disabled people?
No.
You haven't got anything to rant about because you've had a lovely 2 weeks off.
Actually, I'll tell you what I do want to rant about.
Office politics.
Do Just like people that think that they own a place because they think they're cool. I have a beloved pub back in Milton Keynes called
sort of topic.
Back in Milton Keynes called the Kensington, and it is
An institution.
It is. I love it, right? And I think it's amazing. And I went in there. I hadn't been in there for a few months, and there was all these new kids, all fresh 18, which is fair enough. Every year you get it, yeah. But these ones, well, that was me. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? I was never a dick.
No, you're always very polite.
I'd always take my glass back to the bar, no matter how smashed I am. You always take glass back to the bar when you finish.
Always.
And you always say, thank you very much, have a good night, whatever. That mashed in. Oh, the bar. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers BANANAS.
Oh, yeah, this shit is bananas. BANANAS. Oh, there is a rant, actually, I'm going to talk about later about bananas. Yeah, but they were chatting like they owned it, and I heard one of them say, "Oh, this is our pub." I'm like, "No, it's not, mate. No, it's not. It's Joe's pub. He's been coming here for 40 years. That's his pub. Do you know what I mean,
mate? I mean,
that's Graham's pub. He's been drinking there for 70 years.
70.
No, there was more of an exaggeration, but they're all old. Do you know what I mean? Like some of them have literally been drinking there since they were 18, and they are now in their late 70s. Early 80s.
Yeah, I mean, they were the cool kids, they're now the sort of
grumpy
adults.
No, but
they're nice people.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
But don't claim a place. Like America can claim the moon, I guess, because they got there first. But you can't turn around and say, oh, that's mine. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's my moon.
Yeah. Like if I buy something, if I buy like a bottle of wine, you can't just take it and go, oh, you bought it, so it's mine. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? They've been drinking there longer. Respect them. Don't say it's your pub. It pisses me off. It just gets on my tits.
I just get annoyed in general at people who act like they own a place because they go there regularly. It's like, no, you're not. You're a regular. That's it. Like, if you didn't come here, somebody else would come here.
Yeah.
You make fuck all difference.
There is a circle of chain of food chain.
Yeah, and it's just like, it doesn't make any fucking difference to me, mate. I don't give a shit. Just go away. Just get out of my fucking face. So basically, new kids on the block, respect where you are, and older people as well. Don't think you own the place. You don't own it. You probably are running away from some issues in your life, and if you're in the pub at that age every night. It's like, go and see your wife. Do you know what I mean? Go and see your kids.
They might not have kids.
Go and see your
therapist.
If you can't see your wife, see your kids. If you can't see your kids or your wife, therapist.
Yeah. If you don't have kids or a wife
or a therapist,
then just
call one of the helplines.
Drop us an email.
Oh yeah, talk to us. We'll be your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. Can't wait now.
Anyway, apparently what I was saying was going to segue into something you were going to talk about.
Oh, that was more or less it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Have a Beecham's. Oh no. It made your tummy funny. Nathan got a rumbly tummy.
Yeah, I had a few Beecham's, but I was drinking on them. So
yeah, you shouldn't drink on any of that stuff.
Anything like that. And I just had the old squits.
No, that was literally I was gonna say the same kind of thing. It's just like I just don't like people who act a certain way or act like they're higher above a normal person because they go somewhere more often. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, you're all paying for the same prices for the same stuff. You know,
yeah, all the same.
You're all going into the same grave, all right? You're all buried 6 foot under, or you're sprinkled into the air. Yeah, none of us are that different, all right?
Shot into space. Because the thing is,
an alien would not invade Earth if your carcass flew into their spaceship. They'd be like, Jesus, what's going on here?
Where?
With Earth, if they're shooting this specimen into Earth, into orbit rather. Now, we are going to keep this one quite short today, I think, just as an introductory, back into it. But we sent out a not information, I suppose. We sent out a question to the people earlier, and we've got some answers. So, Nathan, do you want to go through some of the things that have been sent in to us? Nathan asked, "What's annoyed you this week?" We like to do it every week, and it's an easier way on Instagram for people to respond rather than sending an email. An email's long, and you got to give it a topic, all this sort of stuff. So, without further ado, and we normally say keep it anonymous, but I feel
like
this guy won't care.
Yeah, so I might just shout them all out, to be honest, because...
Not all of them, no. So this is our friend Dylan. Dylan, an artistic collaborator of mine.
Yeah,
a dear friend.
Artist. Good tattoos as well. He's got
Great tattoos on that boy. And
he's very handsome.
And he looks very good in a crayon costume. If you've never seen it, we might make it the photo for this week's episode.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Maybe.
So Dylan put on the actual what's it?
Come on, Nathan, you've got to be smoother than this.
So I'm not very good.
He put people who eat bananas with a stem.
No, he said this. Oh, I see the first bit now. Sorry, Jack. He said, all-time annoyance is when people say that the correct way to eat a banana is with the stem down.
Now, what does that mean? Me and Nathan thought.
I asked him to explain.
Maybe I'm one of these people.
I was thinking, does he mean the stem is the other way round, and then he just opens a banana and just flips it? Is he OCD?
And all the time he just spills his banana.
Yeah,
on the floor.
yeah. So he says, when people say there's a wrong way of eating a banana, and they say that you're supposed to eat it with the stem down, it's the fucking worst thing, because why does it matter? These are in capital letters. And then they justify it with, that's the way monkeys do it. Okay, thanks, Karen. I'll start throwing my shit at people as well. Or when they say that you eat it that way so you have a handle. The whole fucking thing is a handle. It's a banana. I'm not a fucking...
I'm not an ape.
I'm not a fucking M16. Grinds my gears, it does.
I mean, that is a proper rant. I haven't had anything that ferocious for a while.
Yeah. I'm still really unsure on what he means by the stem bit.
Is the stalk?
That isn't a stalk on a banana. There's just skin.
No.
Oh, do you mean the bit that you break off and then...
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, right, okay.
The stem.
So what's he talking about?
Because some people say that you're meant to open a banana upside down, that's how monkeys do it.
Oh, the other way. Oh, I see. So from the flat side.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The non-stemmed bit.
Oh, right. Okay.
But he's saying, why should I do that? Monkeys might do it that way, Karen, but monkeys also throw shit at people.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's right on both of those things.
Well,
fuck you, Karen.
I've always opened a banana with the stem bit because it's like. You wouldn't grab a motorbike by the tyre. You always grab it by the handlebars.
It's very different, these comparisons. You don't eat a motorbike.
No, but I'm just saying, okay, you don't grab, onto I don't know. Anyway, I would eat...
I agree with you, Dylan. I think people shouldn't be so fussy about the way they eat bananas.
I just think people shouldn't care how people eat. Apart from if you chew with your mouth open, I thought that's gross.
That's disgusting.
That's
a topic for another week, I think.
Yeah. That is very gross.
So what else have we got on here? We'll go through them.
We'll go through them. So then I'll shout some of these people out because they're quite nice.
Don't shout out one if it's personal.
You put birds.
Yeah, I answered it. Birds. They're doing my fucking nut in.
Which could mean, like I said to you earlier, it could mean quite a...
All of them.
Oh, every single type of bird.
Seagulls, women.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everything. Fair enough.
That's all I have to
We'll
say.
leave that for another day as well.
I fucking hate seagulls.
My friend Molly said not seeing my Nathan, which was quite cute. That's quite cute.
Oh, I'm so mollycoddled. That's
I am, okay? I am, and I miss her. I haven't seen her for a couple of months. I used to work with her, and, we were basically just in love. Mixed signals.
Oh, well.
good.
That was a very brief one. That's what's annoyed them. But you know what? I can see why mixed signals annoys people.
Yeah.
Because it's hang on a second. How do you really feel?
Yeah.
There's very little more frustrating than being in a talking stage with somebody. And when you go, you don't know what's going on, or when it's very different from when you're talking to seeing them in real life.
Yeah.
Because it's just you've got to sort that shit out. But I would genuinely say, as a seasoned veteran, mixed signals aren't a good thing. And if it's mixed in the early days,
it's going to be mixed for life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's the only way to really get past it is to just say to them, we need to have a talk, conversation, and like figure out, what's going on. Because although ripping that band-aid off, it's not very nice, but worth doing in the long run. Yeah. Nathan, got anything to add?
Yeah, I just don't know. I think you just got to be straightforward with people. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not seeing somebody something like that, I'm just like, yeah, this is what's going on. Or like, even if it's just like, listen, I just need to do something. Give me a few days.
That's also it. If you, for example, if you're fucking busy, just tell the person. Easiest thing to do. Don't feel like you're being like, oh, is this too forward? No, just say, because
texting all the time is a big thing. I don't like texting all the time. I only like, because I don't text back. I'm the shittest reply you'll ever meet.
As am I.
But at the same time, like, because I'm not always on my phone doing, like, I'm not like, oh, I've got to text this person. If it's important, like, if my mum's like, actually,
you're late home for tea.
I really should actually reply to my mum's message, because it's quite an important one, and I've not replied to it for like a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you just gotta. Space is the most important thing, and in the same time, like, being straightforward.
I think
space and straightforward
as well. Yeah,
not space and straight, because you can.
For me, I literally, my phone is left pretty much just on charge all the time because it's so shit. I'm on my laptop in the day, so when it comes to like messaging people, I'm just shit because my phone's normally on charge. And when I go to work, don't look at my phone really.
I hardly look at it
because I'm just like, you know what I mean. I'm kind of like just trying to get on with shit. I'll have it on for some music or whatever, but respect people's space definitely, but also make sure that you're both on the same page. Because the worst thing you can possibly do is keep something going and you still don't know, and you're just going to be confused for ages, and then you're going to start making it worse. Now, have you got anything else?
Yeah, I've got another one, and it links to our first topic, which is about kids running around pubs. But my good friend Jack, who I used to work with, and we also played Dungeons and Dragons together.
Nice.
I just baited him out in front of all his friends because I don't think they know. But he works in I think it's like for like Mercedes or BMW or something like that, where he does cars and things like that. And he said this toddler was running around the showroom, literally uncontrollable, and the parents were literally stood there. A lot of literallys.
Yeah, they were literally in a showroom.
They were there. They were right there.
They weren't hypothetically there. They hypothetically had a child.
Yeah, they literally had a child there. And they were literally stood there watching him and talking whilst he was throwing these balloons at me, which is kind of funny actually. I can imagine Jack's little face, which we've used for a sale. So these balloons we used for a sale promotion, and I almost felt like drop kicking it in front of them.
Don't do that.
I don't know if he meant.
Did he literally mean he'd drop kick him, or hypothetically?
I don't know, because literally he can mean.
You know what really annoys me? It's when people use literally wrong.
Yeah, well the thing is
it's literally annoying me.
Yeah, okay. Is it literally annoying you? Right. I don't know if he's talking about the balloons or the kid.
Feel free to drop kick a balloon, but don't drop kick a child. I'm going to say it now. I know I said about throwing a child into a freezer in Aldi.
Yeah, that's true, but actually,
but I wouldn't do that. It was a joke. It was comedic effect. Literally.
I don't know if I should read the next bit. Actually, I will. He said that they have zero control over this little ponce.
Well, there's no need to call him a little ponce. That's just rude.
And he was like, yeah, that annoyed me. I get that, to be honest. But when you're working, you don't, like, it was like in Top Man when I used to work there.
Oh.
And that was fucking dreadful. But when people bring their kids in, but they crawl in between the barriers and things, or like the clothing racks, and then they run out. And I accidentally one time, a kid mustn't have been more than 4, and he ran out, and my knee just was the right height as I was stepping, and I just kneed him right on the top of the head, and he started crying, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is your fault. This is your fault." Do you know what I mean? And his mum was fine with it. Yeah. She was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "No, don't be sorry. Right? Tell your kid to say sorry. He was a fucking prick messing about."
Yeah.
So I have strong feelings.
Tell you what, this probably the last little thing. It kind of links onto this. So have you seen that Weatherspoons have said that you could, if you've got a child with you, only 2 drinks in a pub?
That's good.
I think that's I hate the guy who owns Weatherspoons, and in whole, I think Weatherspoons are the reason that so many local pubs are going out of business.
Yeah.
Because
I like a good English.
Tell you what, I'll get onto it in a sec. But good rule. Tell you what isn't a good thing though, is everyone's saying get rid of the beer tax. No, you got to tax stuff that causes people to have fucking kidney failure and gives them cancer. You got to tax that. What you should be fucking taxing and stopping is people from like going to Weatherspoons all the time. Stop letting them like open near like local pubs, because that's what's shutting them. Like local pubs aren't struggling with paying beer tax. They've always had to pay it. What they are struggling with is someone who offers like, you know what I mean, like extremely cheap pints, cheap shots, cheap gins. Like they can't always compete with that, and they don't have the variety. So my answer is shut the fuck up about the beer tax. That's not the problem. The problem is Weatherspoons.
I respect that, to be honest. Like, I do love a Spoons, though.
I have no problem with it, and I do go to Weatherspoons, but I get really fucking pissed off at people who will say, go to Weatherspoons, and then be like, cut the beer tax. Weatherspoons is so huge, they're not ever going to be affected by a beer tax. Yeah, like, I don't think there's any Weatherspoons in the UK that have shut down. They all make a shit ton of money. Like, it's just insane to me that you have a problem with the beer tax, but then what you could do to fix that is just go to your local pub or brewery and get beer from there.
Get nicer pints as well. Like,
nicer, proper local
Cardigan
beer.
Arms, like it's just local brewery.
Kirkstall Brewery, shout out,
Brewery.
and Cardigan.
Absolute amazing beers, ales.
Yeah.
I don't drink cider, but I'm sure they have a nice little cider.
Yeah. So it's like if you know what I mean, just go local. That's the key. It's like people getting annoyed about like high street things shutting down. You know, like traditional butchers. You do all your meat shopping at Tesco. Yeah. Why are you getting pissed off when you're the one who's killed them off, basically? Yeah. You're the one, you've had your last pork chop, son.
I do prefer, though, like when you go, I know, because you haven't had it for a while.
I don't eat meat.
Vegetarian.
I'd go to a nice greengrocer, though.
But, like, when you have, like, a nice, like cut of meat from a butcher, it was always nice. Oh, mate. There's, you know the ones in Shenley? Stoney? Stoney. And they had the two that was like down. They did the best bloody like Cumberland sausages I've ever had in my entire life. And they come in the little strings, and you get like loads of them. Yeah,
and you can have like a comedic like scene with a dog chasing after you.
Yeah. But like you always get like the best cuts from a butcher's, and it is always fresher meat as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You get in, because obviously it's not packaged for like a week before it's.
You can also trust as well. It's local. Like this cow that is dead, admittedly, which isn't great, but this cow died locally.
Yeah, and it was only
it wasn't in like fucking
ago or like days ago, like a day ago. To be fair, actually,
that's like people. You get any like chicken in Aldi, it's from Romania.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's like big vegan veg, like those far like how do you say it, like they're like proper like into it, and like the proper like the hotheads, if you know what I mean, like the
vegan
like,
hotheads.
Yeah, do you know the ones that are like super into it, like oh you should just not eat meat and things like, and like proper like bully people into not eating meat and shit. I saw this one time where it was like, how would you like it if you put the day that this animal was slaughtered on it? And generally, I saw a comment.
Have a day on them.
And generally, like if that was a thing that was actually in all supermarkets, it would be so much better, because you could pick the fresher meat. Do you know what I mean? Like if it said like this was Terence and he was killed on the 21st of January, right? And it's now the 23rd of January, but then you have Harry who's been cut up on the 17th of January, but it's still saying it's in date.
They'd also both be very old cuts of meat. At this point, I would not eat anything from the 17th of January that was freshly.
No, I'm just saying that, but it was like a couple of days later. Do you know what I mean?
And I think with that, we're gonna round it up. Nathan, what have you been reading, watching, listening to?
I actually watched the entire season of The Boys on Amazon
The Boys
Prime,
are back in town,
which was really good. And I've started watching Vikings. Which is really good. And I know I spoke a while ago about that Altered Carbon, but season 2 comes out soon. Oh. So I'm going to be watching that, and I'm really excited to watch that. Listening wise, I haven't really listened to a lot of music recently, actually. Let me have a look, actually, because I downloaded some new stuff, actually. But I can't remember. This is a new Cage the Elephant album, which is really good.
Good shout.
I listened to the Turtles. I'll tell you what, I've been listening to a lot of really old shitty pop music, like boy bands. Like I'm not even lying to you, like McFly. I listened to the other day for the first time in ages.
That's awful.
I know, but I just sat there, I had a song in my head, and I was like,
They
yeah.
did a show at Broodnell.
Did they?
Like last year.
I wish that I was there. Like,
I was so glad I wasn't. But yeah, they're, you know, how the mighty have fallen.
yeah.
No, I'm not. You know, they were playing arenas and now they're playing little local venues. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I love playing little local venues. But you know, they were the biggest thing. They had that cool spiky bleach blonde hair, like me. Now
They still have, their tunes carry though. I won't lie to you. And they did a really good song a few years ago.
I mean, that is the thing. You still know them and you still
they
hear
did
them
that
out.
really good, Love Is on the Radio, like 2015 or something like that, and I really like that song.
I don't know.
I
but
really like that song.
No,
It was
that's
really good.
nice.
Before they became Busted, it was like their last album. Before they became Busted.
But
Which
have
is
you
the
ever
worst.
seen a bigger sham?
Yeah.
Busted, disgraceful.
That's like Oasis and Foo Fighters coming together. Do you know what I mean?
Foasis or
Foo Fighters.
Ooh Fighters. Yeah, I'd like that. Anything else at all? Anything you've been reading? Did you read any information booklets in Prague?
I read the in-flight magazines, and I learned a lot about Egypt, like about the walks that you can do to get to the pyramids. This guy called I think his name was like Nazir or like Nazish or something like that. No. He was like writing about it.
Hey, capiche, Nazish.
And he was telling all the EasyJet flyers about his walks. And I thought, you know what? When you're sat there and you generally have nothing to do on a plane, really. It is one of the most amazing things. Like, I mean, the guys I was sat with were fine and funny, and we had a conversation. And I drank on the plane. I don't really drink on planes, but I drank on the plane. And I realised that it makes time go so much more quicker when you have a nice cold one. But it's like the most... I paid for the most expensive Kit Kat of my life. It was £2.80.
What, for just a standard
just
bar?
No, it was a 4-bar Kit Kat. No, it was a 4-bar. Oh. I'd much rather pay £2.
Chunky's always worth it though.
Oh, sorry, £2.50. Sorry, but I'd much rather pay £2.50 for a chunky one.
That's like 75p a stick.
Yeah,
yeah,
mate,
far out.
Ridiculous.
And anything else you've read? Watched?
When I was at home actually, I read a book on Morecambe and Wise, who are my favourite comedians. Like they're my favourite old school comedians, and I read their biography, so not their
autobiography.
So it was written by someone else.
Yeah, about them.
That was really good. I didn't finish it though. I was going to bring it back up, but I thought because it was my dad's, we got it for my dad for like his 50th or something. So I thought, I'll leave it. I'll finish it when I get back. Really interesting lives, to be honest with you. Really interesting lives. Yeah. What about you? Go on. I've done enough talking now.
I've been watching pretty much exclusively for the past week Inside Number 9, which is like a satirical dark comedy thing, and some of the episodes go from like kind of humorous and funny
to really fucked up,
super fucked up, but it's like Black Mirror without all the what if this robot dog picked up a knife and just went for your baby kind of thing. It's like less like that and more like it's got quite a lot of sort of paranormal stuff in there, which is fucking like some of the scariest stuff I've seen in a really long time. It's just really well done and really well written. So I've been watching quite a lot of that. When it comes to reading, I'm still reading fucking... Oh my God, I can't remember what it's bloody called. Still been reading George Orwell. But I've been reading it when I've been on the train. I've had to do quite a lot of travelling with work, so it's my train book. 1984 by George Orwell. So I've been reading that all the time when I'm on trains. And then when it comes to listening, I've been listening to the Gorillaz album Humans because I gave it a listen. It came out when I was in first year of uni and I didn't really like it, but I quite like it now. It's decent. Yeah. A lot of Death from Above 1979, which is like OG Royal Blood, like really heavy, really good stuff. Conan Moccasin. This guy is a super weird looking New Zealander.
He looks like a mix between Harry Greenfield and,
he does.
And like Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp all in one.
Oh, it's kind of weird.
A big shout out to Harry Greenfield though, because
shout out to that guy.
Also before we carry on, sorry. Shout out to Felix Creaser. that his name?
Yeah.
I know his first name. I didn't know because he's
Thanks,
Joe's.
Felix, Joe's
Yeah,
brother, for listening.
Stopped me in McDonald's and he was like,
Can I have your autograph on my fly?
He was like, "You're Nathan." No. He was like, "You're Nathan, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Who are you? And he was like, "Oh, I listen to General Rant."
I just listened to you.
And I was like, "Oh shit, fuck, that's pretty cool."
Shit, fuck.
Yeah, I was pretty drunk, so I didn't really know.
You
how
didn't
to-
even offer an autograph.
No, because
You're the worst,
he's like
man.
a friend's.
No, he's not. He's a
friend's
fan.
brother.
He's a fan.
He's a friend's brother.
He's followed you all the way to McDonald's, and you didn't even give him a fucking signature.
But yeah, carrying back.
Sorry, Conan Moccasin, he's fucking great. He's got a song called Charlotte's Thong, which is just like a 9-minute smooth jam with this like insane, like really chilled guitar soloing. And Sufjan Stevens, it's the saddest song I've ever listened to in my life. It's called Redford, and it's on his album called Michigan. And it's just purely a piano based track with a bit of like vocals in the background, like very like choiry. It's so fucking sad. It just makes me want to cry every time I listen to it, which I'm doing a lot of at the minute. And other than that, that's about it really. Been listening to a lot of the same old stuff, but a lot of good stuff there. I recommend you listen to it, and I recommend you have a nice week, because now I'm going because I want to have a shower because I stink. And that's all I have to say to you people.
Adios, amigos.
Good night. Sleep well.
Good night, yeah.